it's Press again with another watch overview. Today we'll be looking at the Casio W217H-1AV. Now Casio does make a handful of these models. They make the W217H-9AV, they make the W217H-3BV in a camel color, the W217HM-7BV in a silver case bezel, W217HM-5AV in what looks to be a rose case bezel, and a W217HM-9AV in a gold tone case bezel. But for today's video, we'll be looking at or focusing on the W217H-1AV. Okay, at first look, this model does have 50 meters of water resistance, an amber colored LED backlight, a daily alarm, and a 7-year battery life. In terms of this watch's dimensions, it has a lug-to-lug of 43.1 millimeters, case size of 41.2 millimeters, a thickness of 10.5 millimeters, and a weight of 32 grams. Moving on to the composition, this model does have a resin case, a resin band, resin glass, and uses a CR 2016 battery. Now diving deeper into this watch's specifications, again it does have that resin case, resin band, resin glass, it does have the 50 meters of water resistance, an LED backlight, one 100-second stopwatch with a measuring capacity of 59 minutes and 59 seconds. Measuring modes does include the elapsed time, split time, and first and second place times. Also, this watch has a daily alarm, an hourly time signal, an auto calendar set at 28 days for February, military time option. In terms of its regular timekeeping, it does keep it in hours, minutes, and seconds. It does have a day-date function and can give you AM, PM functions. In terms of this watch's accuracy, it has an accuracy of plus or minus 30 seconds per month, and again does use a CR 2016 battery rated at 7 years. And here's some additional views of the watch. Now looking at the face of the watch, we have the Casio branding at the top left. And at the top right, we have the alarm and chronograph lettering in gold or bronze. And going to the bottom, we have the illuminator lettering. And below that, we have the 50 meters of water resist lettering. Now looking at the buttons, we have the start-stop button indicator. And at the bottom left, we have the mode button indicator. And at the bottom right, we have the light button indicator. And here's some more shots of the watch. Here's your left-hand view of the watch. And here's your right-hand view of the watch. And going to the back, we have the backplate. And specifically stamped into the backplate, we have the Casio branding. We got the module number. We got the model name. And stamped in is the stainless steel. And below that is the water resistant lettering. Also states 5 bars, which means 50 meters. And below that we have the Made in China and EA stampings. Alright, now going into the watch's general functions, you have your normal timekeeping function here, and you can change it from 12 hours to 24-hour format or military time. And if you want to change the time, you just have to scroll through through each mode until your second starts blinking. And here I'm just adjusting the hours, and this is currently in 24-hour time format. And then changing over to the minutes, and here's your month, and you can modify that if you like. There is no year on this, so it's only month and day, and here you can modify the date. Again, for February it's only up to 28 days, and now if we move through, we can change the day. Alright, back to the regular timekeeping function. Now going to the alarm mode. That's your hourly time signal indicator, and here's your alarm indicator. And if you want to change the alarm time, you just hit that button and you can modify the time. There's only one alarm option on this watch. And here you can change the minutes after setting your hour. And I'm going to change this back to 0 because I don't want this going off while we're sleeping. Okay, now moving on, here's your stopwatch function. It's pretty basic. And if you want to reset it, just hit this button on the right. And that is it for this watch's functions. Alright, now here's some side-by-sides. Here's the DW5600E, my classic G. And here we have it next to my WV200A, which is my wave scepter. And here it is next to the DW291H. And here it is next to my W737H. Now looking at the illumination on this watch, I did want to point something out to you. All of my watches typically have the display back in a positive when illuminated, and then the numbers are still in the negative color. But on this watch, when you illuminate it, even though the W217H does have a positive back display and then the numbers are in a negative color, when you illuminate it, it's reversed. So the display is in a negative color and the numbers are in a positive color, as you can see here. And here's some more shots of it on my wrist. And some key takeaways of this watch. What I notice, it's very lightweight. It's not too small like the A168 that I showcased in my very first video. It's not too large like the W737 or the DW291. It does match up my 6 1/4 inch wrist fairly well. I really like the black color. It's very stealthy. The numbers are nice and large for my eyes. The button tones or the sounds are louder than some of the other Casio watches that I've owned. But for the price and the quality, $15. It was $15.88 at Walmart. I would suggest purchasing this watch just as an everyday beater. Obviously, you can't swim with it, but I think overall it's a good value. All right, well, that's been my video. Hope you enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.